Okay, in search of a lost tome. Reluctant as I am to add to your burdens, I would ask your aid in a personal matter, albeit one that may be beneficial to your cause. There exist ancient texts deemed so injurious to modern thought that mere possession is deemed a crime, and it was a chance encounter that won such tome from a distance that sparked within me the scholastic curiosity which burns to this very day. I wish to enlist your aid in reclaiming that text. Should you require further incentive, know that I am willing to offer compensation for services rendered.
Something tells me this is no mere adventure story.
An inconvenient truth.
Vivian, I read your note, and I'd be happy to help you find the book you're looking for.
Thank you, Clive. But tracking it down will not be easy. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Please. You have always granted me your wisdom and insight whenever I asked. It's only right that I return the favor. Or at least attempt to.
Try.
You are too kind. Alas, what I ask of you is rather more trying than delivering the odd lecture. I spoke with Harpocrates to see if he had any inkling as to where another copy might be found, but perhaps it is best that you hear the details from him.
If you say so.
Forgive me, Clive, for asking this of you. But this book, it set me on the path to becoming who I am today. Its importance cannot be overstated.
Ah, Clive, my boy. What a pleasure it is to see you.
Pleasure is to see
Harpocrates.
you.
There's something I need to ask you. I've been charged with locating a book called From a Distance.
Then you seek a rare gem indeed.
Oh, he's really excited.
One whose name I had not thought to hear from your lips. You've been talking to Vivian.
Yep.
Right as always. But she didn't seem keen to tell me very much. I take it she didn't like what you had to say.
And yet I gather it did naught to dissuade her.
Why?
Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy, I fear she asks the impossible. The executors would not allow it.
The executors?
This music.
Coveters of secrets. A clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts and technologies. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks, chronicling as it does the true history of the enslavement of bearers.
Oh?
A tale which could overturn the established order were it ever to become widely known. Or, so rumor has it. I've never actually read the thing, or even set eyes on it for that matter.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why, secrecy is the executor's watchword. They lurk in the shadows, emerging only
They're
to
ninjas.
seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions, or people, before disappearing again, leaving nary a trace.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long after she found it.
By the hand of the executors, yes.
But what drives them? Self-interest or ideology?
Fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the executors can be recounted in a single breath. You may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders. Any answer I give would be pure speculation.
Then my hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting? That I'd pluck it from thin air?
Not from thin air, no. From ash.
Oh?
Rumors of the executors are rife among the scholars of Storm, but rather less so across the strait. I have a friend. Well, I had a friend in the village of Garnick, a collector of rare tomes, upon which subject we would oft correspond. Alas, I have heard naught from him since the skies fell dark. And no doubt he too has turned.
Damn.
But though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance yet rests upon one of his many shelves, quietly awaiting discovery. If you were, by some chance, able to save even a single book from the poor man's library, I know his soul would rest easier.
Very well. When I next find myself in Waloed, I'll be sure to pay Garnick a visit.
We're going there now.
The entire village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in?
Oh. Treasure. A complete botany of Banes. Aderphotida, or tail of wyvern, or wyvern. White of flower and black of root, the latter of which gives out an inky gall when cut or crushed. The tribesmen of northern storm prick their skin with oaken needles soaked in such, drawing curious patterns on their arms and legs. In honor of their heathen gods, the gall is passing intoxicate. I keep saying intoxicate. The gall is passing toxicate, that a single drop taken by mouth may result in cramps most painful for 5 days and 5 nights, or if applied to a wound, certain death. Should a slip of the needle end a young warrior's life, it is said that his skin print failed to find favor among the heavens. Oh, is that the origin of the mark? The Moogle. Sword made a oopsie? I did. The folklorist's fabulary, the Moogle. No spirit or sprite appears more often in Valestian folktales than the humble Moogle, though they are occasionally painted as mischievous souls akin to pixies or imps. Most stories depict them as clumsy yet congenial spirits who delight in helping mankind with their daily labors. They are said to have sweet tooths, leading to the common superstition that one must not leave cake or other sweetmeats uncovered overnight. Thank you for the stretch, Helio. Lest naught remain, but crumbs come morning. In appearance, they are described as being covered head to toe in soft, white fur, except the small dark wings by which they are somehow able to take flight, and the brightly colored pom-poms that protrude from the tops of their heads. And yes, there is one detail regarding the Moogle that most find more remarkable than even the orb that tops its brow. The fact that the creatures actually exist. Preposterous, I hear you cry. Everybody knows that Moogles are the stuff of legend. I quite agree, but even legend has its basis in truth. In the case of the Moogle, the fact may be not so dissimilar to the fiction. Ancient bestiaries list the white mole whose feet do not touch the ground. White mole among the beasts of the realm. And the illustration beside the name, why, it is none other than the Moogle. Of course, it is true that the creatures are not known to still survive in the Twins in the modern day. Perhaps their miniature wings carried them to other climes. Perhaps they were hunted to extinction. Or perhaps, just perhaps, they do still live among us, hidden away far from human view. From a Distance, Chapter 16, The Fall of the Bearers. The emergence of the first magic adepts was widely heralded as a gift from the gods. Indeed, the title with which those with the gift came to be commonly known is most likely a contraction of bearer of the heavenly being. Bearer of the heavenly blessing, the wording used by the tribunes of the time. Those born with the blessing were lauded as living crystals, and granted high office and plentiful reward for their status as chosen ones. Over the years, this reverence for their kind would become a full-fledged religion, led by the bearers themselves, a development that would prove fateful. The divers nations of the time were unanimous of their disapproval of the founding of the church. While the authorities had for years welcomed bearers into positions of power in their own structure of state, they were mistrusting of an organization led by bearers for bearers. Efforts were immediately made to chasten the church and its followers, banning members from holding office, evicting adherents from their homes, breaking up meetings by force. The church responded by forming a volunteer army to resist this persecution. And yet it continued, creating a cycle of ever-increasing bloodshed and rancor, and a growing rift between those born with the blessing and those without. What began with beatings and street clashes would eventually spill over into an all-out war that consumed the greater part of the twins for nigh a generation and decimated the population of men and bearers both. The deluge of blood that stained the land crimson and left an even more lasting mark upon the mind of the Valisthian people. After the bearers' last resistance was crushed, the nations of Valisthia came together to sign the Continental Accord that initiated the system of slavery that persists across the realm to this day. Its well-known phrase, "bearers are other than human," has its roots in the bitter war of the years before, being the unblessed's only excuse for the calamitous refusal to allow the blessed to decide their own destinies. Damn, I assumed as much. I knew it was coming from a place of, we don't have power, we're jealous of that power.
This is it. But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
Royal Intelligencer Training Report. In the wake of the tragic fire at Caer Norvent in 873 5V, and the subsequent depletion of our most highly practiced intelligencers, all mainland strongholds were instructed to redouble training in clandestine maneuvers, improvised weaponry, and assassination techniques, and dispatch promising volunteers to Stonehair for inspection. This report details progress made by the stronghold at Garnick in reinvigorating Waloed's ranks of esteemed intelligencers. Damn. The executioner?
Leaving so soon, stranger. We've been watching you. From a distance.
From a distance.
So to speak.
Wow.
Subtle. I know who you are.
Then we need not waste time on introductions. Hand me the book.
Nope.
Leave it in our care and return to your life.
Nope.
Your care? Do you mean to burn it or bury it?
That is not my decision to make. But by one means or another, its contents shall be removed from the common record.
Then I'll have to politely refuse. I won't let you erase our history.
Then
Facts.
we find ourselves at an impasse. Very well. The book can just as easily be pried from your dead hand.
Oh.
Let's see, shall we?
There we go. Ow, bro.
Get him!
Oh, this is how she almost died. I just realized. She was almost killed by them. Sid saved Vivian from these guys. I just realized that. Why they were after her? Remember? and why she was relocated to the hideaway. It's because of a book. It's this book, and they were the ones who were trying to kill her. I initially thought it was, like, other scholars that were jealous of her. It was definitely them.
Impressive. But we have other means. We shall claim the book yet.
Why do you want it so badly anyway?
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity and avarice of mankind.
People should know.
It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression of a gifted few by a giftless many. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
I don't know.
You don't know. Your sword may be sharp, but your wits are dull. So let me answer for you. There is no correct interpretation of history. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single, immutable explanation as to why they came to pass. It is a question of numbers and of belief. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason, that belief becomes the truth.
So you're trying to control the truth?
We are trying to protect people from themselves, from knowledge that would bring them naught but pain.
Let the people
That is all.
decide.
You may keep the book, for now. The world is small. We shall meet again. Until then.
Wait. Damn it.
Why are they ninjas?
Let's get this back to Vivian. Perhaps she can explain what that was all about. Vivian. I found it. The book you lost.
From a distance, no mention is made as to the name of the author, whether that is because the title page has been lost to time, or because the tome was published anonymously. It is impossible to say.
You found it. Thank you, Clive. Even though I asked this of you, I was not entirely sure it would be possible. I feared the executors had seized every copy.
I met with one of these executors, and I convinced him to let me keep it. He told me something. That the truth is just a matter of collective belief. And that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
It does.
It's unfortunate.
But it also means that the truth is not immutable. That it can be changed. Provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their perspective is the correct one. As the sad history of the bearers proves.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or its author, rather. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon a truth so potent that an entire realm trembled at the prospect of its utterance. I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world of men. A stranger to my own species. She taught me that my solitude was not
She's a lore
curse,
master.
but a gift. And that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one, what I found at my destination would be more than worth the cost.
Do you still feel that way? That you're not one of us?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Since coming to the hideaway, I find my thinking somewhat clouded.
Oh?
Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather closer perspective than I had intended. But the more I study, the more I find value in this perspective. In looking not from the outside, but from within. So if you'll permit me, I'd like to continue my work here. Remember, Clive, when enough people believe, belief begets truth.
True.
Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do.
I'll try, Vivian. I'll try.
Aww. An inconvenient truth. Scholar's bonnet. Vivian Ninetails' scholarly headwear, awarded to her upon the completion of her studies at the University of Canver. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you as I do. Nice. Oh, there's a new hunt? The Wailing Banshee. Cursebreakers came across this creature while searching for survivors near the abandoned village of Garnick. Misled by the abomination's appearance into thinking she might be a local woman, they went to offer their help, but soon it was they who were seeking salvation. The survivors say they can still hear the screams, both those of the white and those of their fallen comrades. This one's cool? Okay. Okay, Garnick Wallood. Okay. I was gonna say it looked like she... Gizamalook?
Harmon's madness lives on.
It's been a while since... Ow. Frickin' heck. There we go. Down you go.
Help me, boy.
Nice. Okay, this is overkill, but you know. Hunter hunted trophy. Clear the hunt board. Oh, was that the last one? That was the last hunt. Nice. Clouded eye. To see the pattern of the surface of the spherical gem shift and twist. I think I've had this before.
Rest in peace.
Nice.
I will not let them be forgotten.
Hey, Herman.
Sid, may I have a moment?
Of course.
It is an honor to finally speak with you. My name is Herman. I've been with the Cursebreakers for some time now, and I wish to be deployed to Ash. Any assignment will do.
Why?
The lands across the Narrow are too dangerous.
Yeah, why
I will
Ash?
not send good men and women to risk their lives needlessly. Why would you want to go back?
Yeah.
I need to retrieve something. Something important. I was raised in an orphanage.
Oh, I know where this is.
Conservatory. Or rather, I was held captive there. It was not a place of nurture. It existed solely to turn bearer children into mindless weapons. We were tortured until we feared no pain. Tormented until our hearts turned to stone.
Aw.
And few ever survived long enough to become tools of the last king.
I can't imagine.
I lost so many. I can't even remember all their names.
Damn.
But they must be remembered. They cannot fade away, faceless and forgotten. The Institute was run with military precision. Every child measured, every name recorded, every death logged with meticulous care. Sid, allow me to travel to Ash and recover the registry so that my brothers and sisters might live on.
Aw. No, I'll go instead.
You are a good friend, Herman. But the fact remains that Ash is simply too dangerous.
Sid, please, even should it cost me my life.
Nope, let me
Too
do it.
dangerous for you, Herman. But not for me. I'll go to Bad Bach and find the registry.
You will?
Aw.
I won't let
Sid
you
is
risk your
such a
life.
good boy.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can start by telling me where I'll find this orphanage.
I know where it is.
Leader Grace.
We've been there.
Hidden in a forest, overlooking the plains.
All right. I'll see what I can find there.
May the mothers guide you.
I love the music in
Plains
this game.
of Vida Grace have haunted my
Vida
dreams
Grace.
since I escaped from the orphanage. I can't say I was looking forward to returning.
There she is.
There's so much food in the hideaway. Sometimes, in my cell, my tummy rumbled so loud that Chadwick would sneak me some gruel from his bowl. I miss him. He would have liked this place.
Aw. The fact that she's so used to whispering is so sad.
This must be the orphanage. Hopefully the registry is still here.
Ooh. We got a potion? Uh-oh. We got a potion. Bad Bach Conservatory. Writ of incorporation. The Kingdom of Walud hereby incorporates this institution, wherein juvenile bearers are to be granted the opportunity to give themselves in service to the state as soldiers. Trainees succumbing to the crystal's curse or otherwise perishing are to be disposed of with all haste. The graveyard is strictly reserved for the uncursed. Bearer disposal within its bounds is punishable by death. Wow. By death?
Disposed of.
Damn. Today's exercises will consist of the press yard, 20 sandbags for such duration as instructor shall dictate. The furnace, burn intensity to be gradually increased. Burn intensity? Live combat, 1 to 3 hellhounds depending on performance.
Conditioning. This is nothing short of torture. Herman wasn't exaggerating. It's a wonder he survived this place. I need to find that registry.
Yeah, Odin is bruh. I have recently learned that my own daughter was among the children turned to stone by the brutal training I subjected them to. I had not so much as thought of her since handing her over to the authorities as a babe, but inquiries with the military confirmed it. It was her. I had been torturing my own flesh and blood, and now I see her everywhere. Today one of the children smiled at me in hope of receiving a few scraps from my table. It was her smile, the smile she inherited from her mother, the mother I killed for giving birth to a bearer. Their ghosts have all come back to haunt me. My daughters, my wife's, all of them. All those children. So many have died at my hand. I can bear the guilt no longer, so I've decided tomorrow I too must die. It'll be the last order I give those poor wretches, the last torment I subject them to. I will command them to tear me limb from limb and inter my accursed corpse beneath the white tree, whose crooked hands reach to the sky in supplication, and beside me my shame, my curse, the record of all their names, all those I have wronged. Damn.
This reads like a suicide note. Did the director go through with his plan? There's only one way to find out. Could he really be buried here? There's something hidden among the roots. Let's see. This must be the registry.
"10 years old. Oh my, lithification, succumb to conditioning. 9 years old. Discipline for attempted flight.
So many names. This place was a slaughterhouse. But where is the architect of all this misery?
Oh, great.
It was only a matter of time, I suppose. This place is cursed.
Love that I chose today. Love that I chose now to try a new ability. Oh jeez. Well, we're dying.
There's a good boy.
Figured as much. While I'm doing that, I can't really move.
You're ready.
There's no. This thing doesn't have a stagger point.
Slow. Nice try. To me, boy.
want to get rid of these guys first. We definitely have different fighting styles, baby. They would, but there's only two. I don't see any point to using it when on mobs if I've already killed most of them. Oh, there's three. Bruh. I'm just testing it out, Silver.
Too slow.
He really doesn't move while you're doing that.
Nice boy.
It does remove a third of his HP, but like, did you see how much I got hit?
Nice try. Well done, Toggle.
This isn't my playstyle, my preferred playstyle. It's definitely cool, yes. No. Because it wastes a lot of time that I could use during the stagger. Let me see if I can...
Nice try.
Okay, it's nice that that pauses. Okay.
Over here. I'm done here. Let's get the registry back to Herman.
I hear that you traveled to Ash, Sid.
Yeah, you told me
Did
to.
you by any chance recover the names of my fallen friends?
Did.
I did. Yes.
A concise and disturbingly detailed record of bearer orphan deaths at the Bad Bach Conservatory.
If I may? The bearer registry. The director was a brutal man. He got no worse than he deserved.
The registry was all I found beneath the tree. There was no
All right,
sign
Carnage.
of a body. Or any record of what happened to the children after the orphanage closed.
I pray that at least some of them survived. All their names are here. The ones we lost. My friends.
Aww.
My light in those dark times. I
How
can
he
still
managed to
remember their
escape.
faces, like it was yesterday. Children who were taken from their bunks in the morning, never to return. No explanation ever offered.
They'd be happy to know that you survived, Herman.
But why did I make it out alive, when so many others died in that awful place?
It's not your fault. And blaming yourself won't bring them back.
Yeah.
Honor their memory. See that their names live on. That way, at least. They're never truly gone.
Thank you. Sid,
There.
I'm going to write a book. An account of the horrors of Badbach, and the spirit of those its custodians sought to crush. All of Valisthea will know of our suffering.
There.
And in the name of those I lost, I will not let it happen again.
Neither will I.
These records would have been buried for all eternity, were it not for you. Thank you.
Damn. Ask about origin. You're set on this plan of yours, then? I am. You never were one to shy away from a fight. Some might say it runs in the family. Ha! Your father would be proud.
Thank you, Uncle.
I know he'll be with us up there.
As for down here,
You may take comfort in the knowledge that the realm will be in my capable hands until you return. Ha 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 ha. Indeed.
Clive, my boy! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved, but such are the times we live in, huh?
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman. But tell me, is the realm truly in as dire a state as Rutherford suggests?
Yep.
From what little I saw, you were right to be worried.
I suppose I should have expected the worst. But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have things a little more under control. Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days, and without it, the people are bound to lose their way. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many. But in my estimation, there are two key areas to be addressed before any other. The realm's armies and her larders. As you've seen firsthand, it's every man and woman for themselves out there. Certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of order, yes? But such cases are few and far between. And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. A unity that transcends even the borders laid down by our ancestors. In short, if Storm does not stand together, she will fall apart.
True.
But how would one even begin to unite the realm?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already, we begin by restoring order among the ranks of those sworn to maintain it. Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest gaggle of privates to dig a latrine together. But I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to listen to on occasion.
Field Marshal.
Field Marshal Eugen Havel.
I thought he was
Eugen?
retired.
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. There is no man alive more capable.
Oh, he was in the cutscene.
Literally. And as luck would have it, I've already spoken with him on the matter.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. On one condition. That he first speaks with you personally.
Okay.
Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle. And he has certain qualms about clasping arms with, well, with an outlaw. I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course, but the old goat was adamant that he be allowed to appraise you in person. You don't mind, do you, my boy?
Yeah. Okay, if that is your wish.
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. I'll do whatever it takes. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with me in person, then so be it.
That's the spirit.
I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian capital. I'll have him tell Havel to expect you forthwith.
All right.
Excellent. Thank you, Uncle.
No, thank you, Clive.
Byron, why do you gotta say it like that?
There are many variations of the Zemeckis legend, but almost all agree that man was punished for presuming to set foot in the sanctum of the gods. Some describe it as holy, others heavenly, which is to say, of the heavens. Could it be that the baleful mass that now glowers over us is this very sanctum? Have the gods returned to pass judgment upon us once more?
It's not real. It can't be. I'm seeing things.
It looks so cool, though.
Please. A piece of fruit. A crust of bread. Anything.
Is it true about Twinside? Those poor people.
Aye. And poor us, too. Trade with the Dominion was the only thing keeping these markets afloat. Now that's finished. So are we.
Oof.
Have you seen what's washed up at our gates? Imperial nobles, no less.
I don't know whether to pity them for the trials they went through in Twinside, or to say it's their own bloody fault for stealing the city in the first place.
Ooh.
The Dominion's gone, they're saying. All the islands sunk to the bottom of the sea.
Gilbert, the guards closed the gates. If they hadn't, we'd be down there too.
Just between you and me, we lost contact with the forward camps a while ago. Till we know more about the situation in Twinside, the gates are staying shut.
He still has the same dialogue. That didn't
What am
change.
I to do? My entire fortune sleeps at the bottom of the Strait of Arthur.
Not your entire fortune. Those rings will buy you some bread.
Yep.
How the tables have turned.
Please. I've walked the length of the Crystal Road without a drop of water.
We'll bring you a skin after you tell us what happened in the Dominion.
Wow.
Look, everyone, just take what you need. Coin be damned.
Wow, she's just giving it out?
It hardly seems real. I keep expecting to see Theodore, waiting for me at the caravans.
Theo!
Is it true about
Please.
Twinside?
A piece of fruit.
Good day, Clive.
Ask about Eloise and Theodore's past.
When we fled our childhood home,
We left behind not only our family fortune, but the names our parents gave us. I became Eloise and my brother, Theodore. We had nothing to our new names but a hatred of the system that would have seen my brother enslaved. But that hatred also gave us a purpose. We swore to save not only Theodore, but others like him. In order to make good on this ambition, we would need two things, money and trust. We found work, and saved the money we needed to begin buying bearers their freedom. We told them that their lives were their own, that they could stay with us and we would feed them and house them and pay them for their labor. Or they could leave, and we would grant them safe passage to wherever they wished to go. In that way, we engendered trust. Once earned, that trust proved nigh unshakable. So much so, that most chose to stay with us, and it was always Theo they trusted the most. They loved him.
I loved him.
And I shall continue his work. Our work.
Did I tell you
that I found a map of Kashlok among Theo's things? He had written some words in the boundary, a new dream for when the nightmare ends.
That was what he wanted.
An end to the torment that bears the realm over had long been forced to endure. A new beginning. He who lost his life in pursuit of that dream falls to those of us who remain to see that it lives on.
No matter how hard it might be.
Or how long it may take, I will make his dream a reality.
The Dominion has fallen.
And Boklad's streets now echo with the cries of those fleeing its destruction, and the bitter objections of those forced to take them in. And things seem likely only to get worse. Aetherfloods continue to swallow greater swaths of the Republic, and it grows harder every day to disagree with those who say the end is nigh. What is the end of the world as we know it, if not an opportunity to create a new one? Our work is only just beginning.
The Crimson Caravans must set an example.
We must use the skills, strength, and knowledge Theo and I earned over all those years to see all who come here continue to be fed and watered. If there is nowhere left to run, then we must ensure that the place in which we find ourselves is a place of refuge for all.
It is our job to keep the hope alive.
If we don't, who else will?
Take care of yourself, Clive.
Do you have any fresh water? The well's been all but dry since the skies changed.
Barely a drop left for myself.
It's the end, isn't it? The gods have sent that thing to punish us.
That thing in the sky. It looks to me like a mother crystal, or at the very least some twisted reflection of one. But where did it come from? Has the spirit of its fallen cousins returned to haunt us?
Papa, what keeps it in the air? Why doesn't it fall?
Don't you go tempting fate, girl.
True. Because it could fall any time.
What is it?
Don't ask me.
Oh, please. Just make it stop. Make it stop. I'm scared.
It's all right. I'm here.
Nothing good's gonna come of this, I'm telling you.
Just looking at it's enough to send a shiver down your spine.
Oh, I forgot that this was Randala. I was like, where is Randala? We never actually got to go through here.
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Oh.
Allow me.
I don't need your...
Please, Field Marshal, oblige him.
This won't take long.
You're right. It won't. Men, finish him.
Odin!
So that didn't take long at all. That's great.
A little longer than I'd have liked.
Longer? That was super short, Clive. We Odined them. We Odined, like, instead of owned.
Field Marshal Havel, I presume. Are either of you injured?
No, my lord. You arrived just as our escort turned on us.
Oh.
Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of soldiers in the outlying regions abandoning the oaths they swore. But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so close to the heart of the Republic. It's a fucking disgrace. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. My lord Marquis. Or is Sid the Outlaw more to your liking?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am. Or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm, and he needs your help to see it through.
Before I agree to anything, I'd have you answer one question.
Uh-oh. Is it a question that's important? That I should know? However, thanks to the intervention of Prince Dion Lesage of Sanbreque and his Knights Dragoon, disaster was averted at the last moment. Ah.
What do you stand to gain from all this?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right reasons. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now we have a chance to put things right. But in order to take it, we must stand together. Even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Let's go, Clive.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. But perhaps
it was
your
just a
uncle
title,
was right.
bruh.
You are no ordinary outlaw. I'll never hear the end of this. All right.
From who?
I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dhalmekian fringes under control. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore order in their own territory.
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only ones we will need to convince.
Oh?
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. But those they answer to require a different kind of persuasion. And when it comes to honeyed words, well, we will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen. You, perhaps?
I'm flattered. But I'm no diplomat either. And I have other problems to attend to. What we need is a skilled arbitrator.
Oh? Who?
And I may know just the person.
Who?
Is that so? And would he happen to be an outlaw too?
Of a different kind, perhaps.
Well, beggars can't be choosers. I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this. Very well. Send your man to me right away.
I shall.
Is it Uncle Byron?
My Lord Marquis. Your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor in Port Isolde.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
Is Port Isolde still okay? Is it?
An envoy. I'm not sure I'm the man to talk anyone round. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. No. This is a job for someone with experience. Someone like Quentin. I hope I can convince him at least.
Oh! I forgot about Quentin. Yo, we're bringing Quentin back. Okay, cool. Cool. I like this. I like where this is going.
You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow their pride and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps I can fetch you a meat pie as well.
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think of none better suited to the role.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, Clive. The people of Lostwing are my family, and I cannot abandon them. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh.
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best.
Aww.
If it's the vineyard you're worried about, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust us?
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced us we could build new lives for ourselves, and if you can do that, who's to say you couldn't convince the entire realm?
Quentin's
A
story is so
stirring
good.
argument. I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by comparison.
So you'll join us?
Where do you need me?
Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. He's currently in Port Isolde. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are far from safe these days.
Yep. Very much.
Hopefully not for long. My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape.
Nice.
Any statesmen we speak with are liable to resist our entreaties if they feel that what little power remains to them is at stake. They must be dealt with skillfully. I shall not repeat the errors of my past.
Reckon Master Quentin could argue an egg back up a hen's quim if he set his mind to it.
Wow. Very specific.
I bring
We
good
have
news.
glad tidings.
The Field Marshal has agreed to your plan.
Of course he has. I didn't doubt you for a moment, dear boy.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port Isolde as we speak. They will await your return there. As will one other.
One other? Who, exactly?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if I might have a solution, and I suggested a certain Imperial Lord Magistrate turned Liberator.
One of your co-conspirators?
Yep.
Master Quentin would probably call me one of his. But yes.
Another outlaw, then. Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in their places.
Let's go.
Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier, eh?
Uncle.
Aww.
Assuming Havel and Quentin can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you worry, my boy. The 7 high houses will be seeing to that. They have all agreed to make the most generous of donations. Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion, but luckily I had some unexpected help.
From?
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward Rockford from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased. She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon.
Oh, wow.
And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves in the rush to follow suit.
I'm happy to hear it.
Nice.
Now, I must be getting back to the manor. Join us there at your earliest convenience, would you?
Of course, Uncle.
Oh. Rossfield Manor. Same, Jada.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them going, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
Let's go, Quentin.
If I may, gentlemen.
Let's go, Quentin.
Perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted,
I like
there
that
is
he's
no
still wearing his
shortage of
apron.
ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar,
That's
awaiting
what I was
a
thinking,
safe haven.
boats.
Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. Forgive the interruption. 2 such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between you.
Oh.
Us? Friends?
I can't stand the man!
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal!
Criminal? How dare you? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young gentleman.
Upstanding? He calls himself Sid the Bloody Outlaw!
Once more onto the breach.
Clive's like, oh my god. Right? Just kiss already!
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the thrones of those that already exist. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals, the statesmen, the nobles, that our cause is just. There will be disagreements, yes, and I imagine some resistance, much resistance. But we cannot let that deter us. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves, then I am confident they will follow. The fate of the world lies in my nephew's hands, but the well-being of her people lies in ours.
I love that.
And we must not squander the chance that Clive has given us.
Uncle Byron,
Now, with that settled, let's move on to the signing of the Accord. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony?
Uncle Byron's great.
Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Triunity. Rutherford, Mike Will.
Oh my gosh. I love that they're not just fixed on
my boy,
Clive
the stage is set.
Fixing all the problems.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that you trust in the talents of your supporting cast.
It's a strong supporting
We
cast.
shall play our parts to the best of our abilities, that you might have the opportunity to shine. The realm needs its Sir Crandall. And there is no better Crandall than you, Clive. I want you to keep this signed accord as proof of our faith in you.
I will. Thank you, Uncle.
Damn. Uncle Byron rocks. Signed by the representatives from Rosaria, Dalmecchia, and Sanbrec, this mutual accord sets the stage for a new age in Storm, if not officially, then at least in spirit. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? Tomorrow